It's time for week 2 of the Simulation Football League's 21st season to get underway. Drivers, start your engines. We're live from Bank Michigan Stadium here in Detroit as the Motor City V8s take on the Jacksonville Kings. Hello and a very warm welcome. My name is Michael Cirillo. Happy to have your company. Happy to have the company of Jeff Milanishin in the broadcast booth with me. Jeff, two teams that have started this new season, this new era, 1-0, and are looking to turn things around after a rough couple of years.
Yeah, it really has been for Motor City V8s, originally St. Louis Gladiators, but also Jacksonville. The last couple seasons, last two to be exact, haven't really worked out the way that they had planned. Both these teams last season coming up with wins on week 1, but it was Jacksonville getting the win in week 2 before going on a losing stretch. And then Motor City V8s, they had a stretch of losing 4 before getting a win, and then losing 5 and then getting a win. Both of those wins were against Queen City. So it's going to be interesting to see how this one plays out. Plus, both teams coming off a win week 1. You know you get all that exuberation going through the locker room. So we'll see what happens here tonight.
Last week, obviously, the convention, everybody being very excited, live games. It's now time to settle in to our regularly scheduled programming as Motor City kicks us off. Jacksonville will get us started in the purple helmets, white jerseys, purple pants with the gold accessories, and a nice return out past the 30-35. Can he hit the sideline? Yes, up to midfield. Beasley still going, steps out of bounds on Motor City's side of the field to the 43-yard line. What a start for the Kings.
Wow, what a kick return to start week 2 here today, Mike. Wow, I mean, who would have thought that, coming out, they thought they were going to get the tackle here at the 30, but, that's why you wrap up.
The rookie Joe Beasley, pick number 29 of the most recent SFL rookie draft, making his presence known on a very stacked offensive side of the ball for the Jacksonville Kings. O.J. Bruin and Kenny Slider are their QBs. Sean Sanders will be starting at running back. Shepard Vicarian also back there with Jay Ballmer as the fullback. David Gears, Joe Beasley, Kingston Ellington, and Connor Weston at wide receiver. Jim Copeland Jr. and Talon Steele at tight end. And Brennan Ryan and Marcella Martin on the offensive line. Handoff. Sanders off the left side. Picks up a couple of yards, and it looks like we might have an injury. It is King Rashid going down on the first play from scrimmage. The 4-season veteran will have to watch at least a little bit of this game from the sidelines.
And he had 4 tackles last week in the victory, and all of a sudden now he's down. This could be a huge loss here for this defense for Motor City.
Rest of the defense for Motor City: Doug Howard, Dakota Butts on the defensive line, along with Nick Brummer and Mike Ballot. Linebackers: Matthew Holford, Rodney Panani. Corners: Mark Kaufman, Terrence Pearson, King Rashid, who just got injured. Safeties: David Leathers, Nicholas Warner, and Kane Vasquez. 2nd and 7 after the gain of 3 by Sanders. It's another handoff, this time to the rookie, Shepard Vicarian, and he falls forward for 2 more. And last week, Jeff, we didn't really know a lot of what to expect going in. Now we know rushing is king.
Yeah, it is. I mean, Jacksonville rushed the ball all up and down on Catton, and they're going to try to do the same here. But I did talk to Gooden, Frank Gooden, the coach for Jacksonville. He does want to implement some of the passing as well.
We've got Aaron Gooden and Dwayne Schindler on stats for us today. Thank you very much to the both. Speaking of the passing game, that's Kingston Ellington, one of the veteran players on this team. 5th season as a Jacksonville King. He picks up a first down on a swing pass.
Yeah, nice little route to the sideline right there. Able to get it, and a good open field tackle by Nicholas Warner.
Last week, O.J. Bruin played the entire game at quarterback. We didn't see the rookie Kenny Slider. 159 yards on 12 of 23 completion. Bruin looking, throwing, caught down the seam inside the 15-yard line. That's Ellington again. It's 2 straight catches for number 82 to put Jacksonville in the SFL, presented by APM Music Red Zone.
Well, it's easy when you get the opening kickoff return inside your opponent's territory. Then the offense really has nothing to really worry about outside of, just completing passes and first downs. And this has been a good opening drive for Jacksonville. They're really getting the offense working here.
Last week, Motor City defensively did a great job against Carolina, only allowing one big play for Mike McBride, and that was the majority of Carolina's offense. Bruin rolls out, throws incomplete, looking for Jim Copeland Jr., the tight end, broken up on the outside by Terrence Pearson.
So finally, Motor City getting a stop on first down, as it looked like Jacksonville was just going to complete their offense and just keep going down. So good drive staller, maybe get a stop here, then you bring up a long third and long.
2nd and 10 in the I formation with Jay Ballmer in the fullback spot. Sean Sanders once again dotting the I. Here comes the blitz. The pass is complete over the middle. Look at the big boy rumbling towards the goal line. That's Talon Steele setting up a 1st and goal for Jacksonville.
Talon Steele, 6'7", 236. It's going to take a whole host of defenders to get him down, but a good open field tackle by David Leathers, the free safety for Motor City, saving a touchdown for now.
Setting up Jacksonville inside the 1. Last week, Sean Sanders only had 2 carries for 1 yard. Most of the running was done by Shepard Vicarian. It's a pitch, and fighting for the goal line and not getting there is Sanders. He was stacked up back at the 2-yard line.
You don't need to do that, Mike. You don't need to dress anything up. Just hand the ball off. Didn't really like that call there on 1st and goal to pitch it when you got this defense swarming like it is.
Lost about a yard there, back to the 1.5. This time, heavy set up the middle. Sanders can't get to the goal line again. What a tackle in the middle by Matthew Holford.
Big time stop. That's, the old Oklahoma drill. You got 1 yard. Good stop. Now they got to do it again. 3rd and goal.
Can Motor City, backed up against their own goal line, pull off an impressive stand here in the opening quarter? Pitch, strong side. This time, Sanders muscles his way in, and it's 6-0 Jacksonville.
And it all started. Go back to the Beasley kick return. And then you get to the goal line. That was a good drive by Jacksonville to open it up. And now Motor City, now they're going to get the chance to go down the field as well. This could be a really good contest here, Mike, if Motor City could get their offense going just like Jacksonville did.
And some good news for Motor City is that King Rashid was on the field on that goal line stand. He actually was the man that was the tackle broken for Sanders to get into the end zone. 9 plays, 43 yards on the touchdown drive. But remember, Rashid injured on the first play from scrimmage. Good to see him back out there.
Sean Sanders with his first rushing touchdown of the season as well. So he's got to be feeling pretty good getting back to the sideline, celebrating with his teammates.
Last year, Sanders, 233 carries, 890 yards, 4 touchdowns, but also coughed up the ball 4 times, which was 2nd in the SFL. So got to wrap that ball up, young fella, when you're running downfield. Motor City back on the field on offense for their first possession of the day. Their quarterback situation, very interesting. We saw both Ibrahim Kreida and Michael Brown, the rookie, line up under center last week, and we have some insider information that maybe there's some Wildcat action coming soon, Jeff.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to lean on Michael Brown, is what I was told from Drew Riley, their OC and DC and scout, their do-it-all coach at Motor City. But he said they're going to lean on Michael Brown here today. They want to see how his passing game can evolve as well, as opposed to last week when it was just running the football.
It is Michael Brown under center, split backs behind him. That's Bill Cherry and Christopher Dean, the 2 fullbacks. Straight drop, Brown, middle, looking, caught. Noe Terrazas, first down, Motor City.
Hey, first play of the game. Normally everybody was going to be, they're going to run the ball here. And that's exactly what Jacksonville thought. They brought the house. And that was another thing that Drew Riley said. Jacksonville likes to blitz, and they want to see how Michael Brown handles that blitz. So far, 1 play. I mean, it's only 1 play, but looks pretty good.
A lot of crossing concepts over the middle of the field there to cross up the cornerbacks and safeties for Jacksonville. This time they'll send Bill Cherry in motion out to the tight end spot. Brown to throw, looks middle again, caught by Terrazas again, first down into Jacksonville territory. And as someone with a vested interest in last week's game versus Carolina, this is what they did all game long, just bullied the Skyhawks over the middle.
And they're going to try to do it again against this Jacksonville defense, and so far it's working. The defender, it looked like a little man coverage, and he looked like he was going to pass it off like it was a zone, so maybe some miscommunication on the defense so far.
Only 2 catches last week for Terrazas, so he has equaled his output in the first 2 offensive plays for Motor City. Had 35 yards catching, did Noe. Brown to throw again. Another blitz from Jacksonville, and it's strike to Terrazas for a 3rd straight time inside the 30.
Wow. Both of these offenses are just, they don't even care what the defense is doing, because they're doing exactly what the offense wants to do. And another good tackle by Young Vogt, the free safety for Jacksonville. So, I mean, the tackling is there for Jacksonville. They just got to get to the quarterback.
Quickly, here's the rest of the offense for Motor City. Creata and Brown at quarterback, Bill Cherry, Christopher Jean fullback, John Sutherland, Shane Kaufman, Noe Terrazas, and Guy Clausen at wide receiver, Azami Mihara, Julian Gusters, and Phil Cause at tight end, Bill McMillan, Phil McMillan, and John Smith on the offensive line. How about Noe Terrazas? Have yourself a drive, a 4th straight catch, and a 4th straight first down.
Toby Kinnear with the tackle, the corner. But we saw it with Jacksonville. They went to Kingston Ellington a bunch of times. So now Motor City's like, okay, we'll up you and we'll get it 4 straight times to our tight end. Do it all, Noah Terrazas. Receiver.
Terrazas already 57 yards on 4 catches. On
Who
just
needs a running
this
game?
first, and yeah, apparently not. Motor City. Brown to throw again. He's going down the middle, and he overthrows everybody. He was looking for Terrazas, and that's the first incompletion for Motor City on the day.
He got you down there. Why not keep looking, especially in triple, quadruple coverage? Why not?
I have noticed, as you mentioned, Jeff, that Jacksonville is bringing the heat on pretty much every play. They're sending at least 1 linebacker. Man in motion is John Sutherland left to right. Brown against the rush, throws to the middle and overthrows Terrazas again. Incomplete. That time he had pressure from the backside as John Martin, the linebacker, was racing towards him.
Yeah, more triple coverage, looking in the end zone once again. I think Brown is a rookie, and he's showing it. He's leaning on, the first read. He's not moving off to another read, a receiver or tight end that might be open. This is what happens with a rookie quarterback. They start finding their safety blanket. They start looking. It's going to be, the next step is going to be, can he move on from that?
3rd and 10. Jacksonville looking for a stop. This time they don't blitz. Brown all day in the pocket. Throws it. It's a touchdown. Shane Kaufman, the first man not named Noe Terrazas to make a catch for the Motor City V8s. Finds pay dirt.
Unbelievable drive. He's been throwing it into tight windows on this opening drive, and again, it happens. Just go for the touch. Just throw it. There's a receiver down there for Motor City somewhere, and it's Shane Kaufman in the end zone. His first touchdown of the season comes in week 2. Another good drive, and I said it, if Motor City could get their offense clicking just like Jacksonville did, this might be a high-scoring affair. So far, 14 combined points.
Huge shout-outs to Bill McMillan, Phil McMillan, and John Smith on the offensive line, because on that touchdown play on the 3rd and 10, Michael Brown had all day to throw that ball against only a 4-man rush. And so that may be like Jacksonville has to rush the extra man to even get any pressure on the quarterback at all.
Yeah, I mean, give a shout out to those offensive linemen. They normally don't get a lot of love unless it's the running back going in, because they're normally setting a block. But it happens, especially, it's going to be a lot of that on the offensive line when you're going up against Jacksonville and their blitzing defense. and it's going to make it even harder because then you gotta move off, you gotta go to somebody else, you gotta have good hand placement. So it's good to see.
Second drive for Jacksonville at a 7-7 game, halfway through the first quarter here. Michael Turillo, Jeff Miladishin, the broadcast booth. Thank you for joining us on this Saturday afternoon. Bruin under center, split backs behind him. He's going to hand the ball off. This is Shepard Vakarian on his second carry of the game. Will pick up 4. If you're new to the Simulation Football League, welcome. The SFL is football for everyone. Get off the sidelines and start your player today by joining our Discord server at simulationfl.net. Click the Join Community button and begin your career, or just to meet the stars of the SFL on and off the field. It's never too late to get involved. A handoff, a spin move inside. Sean Sanders pushing forward for a first down. And honestly, the way that Jacksonville has set up their offense here, Jeff, kind of reminds me of what we expected Motor City to do with their 2 fullbacks.
Exactly, but it looks like that offensive game plan got sent to the wrong address.
It's been working for Jacksonville so far. Bruin to throw, pressure from the backside, but wide open down the middle is Kingston Ellington, and he makes his 3rd catch of the game.
So it's going to be the Ellington and Terrazas show. It's only going to be a matter of time before they both have 10 receptions in it. For Ellington, it might just come on this drive that he gets 10.
David Leathers, the free safety, playing center field to make the tackle. Ellington, now 3 catches. Talon Steele, 1 catch. That's the passing game so far for Jacksonville. Here's a delayed handoff. Room to run for Sanders up the middle, picks up 5.
That was a nice design, Mike. I mean, you saw it. All the defenders for Motor City went back, and that's what you want to see on a draw play. They worked that one perfectly with the first pass to Ellington.
Now the power eye that we saw inside the red zone. They hand it off weak side to Sanders, breaks 1 tackle, and gets to the 40-yard line. So they've run that power eye set. Oh, we see Dakota Butts, another injury for Motor City. King Rashid's already back on the field, but now one of the defensive ends is out.
This could be a bigger loss than Rashid was, because that's taking somebody off the defensive line. And the way that Jacksonville has been running the football, you need those big defensive linemen to start getting their blocks.
Jacksonville into Motor City territory, ball right on the 40-yard line. I formation still for the Kings. Bruin's gonna throw. He's got plenty of protection, and he finds the breadbasket of Ellington once again.
I mean, I'm no seamstress, but the way they're threading these needles is remarkable. And another tight window throw that Ellington just comes up with. Unbelievable. And that's another big play. And there's been big plays made throughout this whole game so far. This has been fun to watch.
Reminds me of a college game with spread offense. Lots of moving the ball. Defense a little bit far behind, which we did see in week 1. Offense is really putting up the majority of the game plans. Bruin looking, caught. Jim Copeland Jr. touchdown Kings.
Didn't take long, did it, to find Pater once again. First touchdown of the season for Jim Copeland Jr. They're just handing out touchdowns here with both of these passing attacks, which is something that, we didn't think was going to happen at all in this game. We thought we were going to be seeing some grinded out 5-yard per carry averages, and these running backs are like, man, what do we do in practice?
I love the rollout from O.J. Bruin. Moves everybody to the weak side of the field, and they've got the tight end, Jim Copeland Jr., wide open on the crossing pattern. Easily finds the end zone. Jacksonville takes a lead. It is 14-7 as the extra point is up and good by Jordan Bradshaw. Interesting that Jacksonville has 2 punters on their roster, both rookies. Victor Ironleg, the number 86 pick, and Liam Price, an undrafted rookie. So if they are ever in a punting situation, we'll have to see who is out there doing the kicking.
Well, we hope for our sake they don't have to come out until the fourth quarter.
That would be close probably to an SFL record. Oh, look out. We've got movement from John Sutherland up past the 40. We've already seen one good kick return from Jacksonville, and Motor City's got one. He had one man to beat, and he just stepped out on the Jacksonville 42-yard line. So this return pretty much cancels out the opening return of the game for Jacksonville by Joe Beasley.
It does, and we're only seconds away from seeing a kick return to the house here today, which would be remarkable. But yeah, it does. It negates the kick return for Jacksonville, and now we're all squared away in terms of good starting field position. And now, I mean, they're 40 yards away from tying this game up.
And we're still not even at the 2-minute mark of the first quarter. This has been end-to-end action, hockey-esque football.
Well, we are in Detroit.
We are indeed home of the Red Wings. Here's an all-out blitz from Jacksonville. And down the middle is Terrazas, and he dropped it.
Yeah, that's tough. Quarterback puts it right on you. But it was tight coverage, so just up those hands a little bit, young sir. Hit the weight room.
First incompletion for Terrazas. He's technically 4 of 7 because he was targeted a couple times down to the red zone on Motor City's last drive, and the passes were overthrown, not really in Noe's vicinity. Here's 2nd and 10. Brown backing up near the 50, throwing, and then Terrazas gets nailed by Vaught and drops the ball.
Yeah, Vaught is like, okay, keep coming across the middle and you'll keep ending up on the ground. And that's good. I mean, that's going to be what the defense needs to do for Jacksonville, because if they're going to keep throwing across the middle, make them think about it when they go across the middle. That way, then the receiver has something to think about, and then all of a sudden you got to drop.
And this is the dangerous game that you play when you put your receivers in those situations. Brown on 3rd and 10, swing pass. Christopher Dean is pushed out of bounds after a short gain by John Patrick Levine, the transfer from D.C. in the offseason. And we will see our first punt of the day coming Motor City's way.
Yeah, very just quick drive of 2 really quick incompletions. Then they tried the swing pass. Didn't really work out. Couldn't really get their footing down, which is surprising after what they did on their first drive going 9 plays. Shout out to the stats group.
Fair catch called for at the 17-yard line by Beasley. And this might be a big momentum swing here, Jeff, if Jacksonville can keep up their offensive power against this Motor City defense after Motor City goes empty on a drive.
Yeah, this is a big stand for this Motor City V8 defense. Can they get a stop just like Jacksonville was able to get a stop on Motor City just a couple plays ago?
Motor City did give up 21 points to Carolina last week, but they kind of let that go because they scored 45. Fumble on the play. It's picked up by Motor City. How do you like that? Doug Howard, the other defensive lineman, basically stripped the ball out of O.J. Bruin's hands and picked it up before it hit the ground.
Remarkable. They got the stop that they needed. Oh, it was close to maybe the arm going forward, but right now, Motor City has the ball, and they got it inside the 5-yard line. They got the stop that they needed. I didn't think it was going to be that quick.
Well, it didn't matter if the arm was going forward or not because the ball never hit the ground. So if the arm was going forward, it would be an interception anyway. Motor City ball at the 4-yard line. How about this for a change of momentum if you're Motor City? It's going to be a run from Michael Brown. Oh, no, it's Shane Kaufman and the Wildcats. Touchdown, Motor City.
Shout out to Drew Riley. That's what he said. He said that Motor City is hoping for the Wildcat formation with Kaufman will allow for the creation of separation from the front 7 in short yardage situations, and they find themselves with a touchdown off of a Wildcat situation. Unbelievable.
And we were talking to Dwayne Schindler, co-owner of Motor City, before the game started, and he said that the ability to be creative and think up new offensive schemes and put receivers and tight ends and running backs and fullbacks in different places is what keeps Drew Riley coming back to the SFL. And now that he has so many more tools to do creative things like that Wildcat formation, a rushing touchdown for a wide receiver. Hey, Mike Daggs, we need a new section on the stat sheet.
Get to work for it for week 3, please and thank you.
Beasley out to the 26-yard line in a 14-14 game. We've pretty much seen everything, and it's not the end of the first quarter yet.
Unbelievable. We saw a Wildcat, if you have that on your SFL bingo card. We had a kick return, big kick return plays by both sides. We saw a strip sack. So if you got that, congratulations. And then you got the free space. We're so close to a bingo here, Mike. So close.
And we've still got 3 quarters of the game to go. Jacksonville, after a big punch, can they counter on offense? Here's Shepard Vakarian, the big playboy from last week, runs up the middle. They're going to give him a first down. Vakarian 138 yards on 23 carries last week, but Frank said that the goal was to get Sean Sanders more involved this week.
It was, but he still said that he wanted to get the vac attack going, so it's a good 1-2 punch. I mean, why not when you have 2 really good running backs that can run the rock?
Offset eye this time after a 10-yard gain. Stretch play, Vakarian again tries to go inside. It is wrapped up and dropped, only a gain of 2 by Matthew Holford.
Yeah, good open field tackle because Vac already took one for 10 yards, 11 yards. So to hold him to 2 yards now sets him up where Motor City gets a stop here, brings up a third down, something we really haven't seen from Jacksonville in this game, third downs.
Same formation as the last play, same play. This time Sean Sanders gets the carry, and it sets up a 3rd and 3. Terrence Pearson on the tackle.
Yeah, so 3rd and short. Don't really need to break the offense on this play. Just got to get 3 yards. So they could go back to the run, but I want to see maybe what they did to score a touchdown. Roll out O.J. Bruin to the weak side. Get this defense going one way, throw it back to the other way.
Well, they've got the heavy set here. We've seen draws from this formation. We've seen up the middle handoffs. We've seen handoffs to the weak and strong side. This time, just pure guts from Sean Sanders to get the first down.
That's okay. We're putting the ball in your hand. You're going to show us why you're making some money here, and Sanders did exactly that.
That's the end of the first quarter. A very entertaining first quarter. If you're in the chat right now, let us know how you're enjoying SFL Saturday afternoon action presented by APM Music here on YouTube. Michael Turillo and Jeff Milanishin in the broadcast booth for this one. Week 2 of the SFL starting in earnest. We've got Mexico City and Indianapolis on the other stream. I'm sure Cameron Irvine will keep us abreast of all relevant details happening in that game. First play of the second quarter. It's a first down. Going to be a Bruin throw over the middle. Caught. And a first down. It's Kingston Ellington again.
Ellington is just eating this middle of the field. Already 51 yards, 4 receptions. He's doing it all. He's really been the X factor that Jacksonville really needed in a passing attack, and that already showed a lot last week, but here he's showing even more than he did in week 1.
We've got David Leathers in the chat. Oak Cliff Rockefeller, Drew Reilly, Vibes Cleveland, Kingston Ellington, and a whole lot more. Thank you so much for your patronage on a Saturday afternoon. Sanders wrapped up and dropped, only a gain of 4. For all league highlights, photo galleries, major and minor league stats, leaderboards, community content, and so much more, check out the league's website at simulationfl.net, presented by Football Shift. Stay up to date and explore our past, present, and future. First time we've seen Connor Weston in motion, the longtime Arizona Scorpion. But it's going to be another draw. Sanders breaking through, one man to beat, and he gets through the last tackle and scores. Sean Sanders put on a show. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
Oh, he's doing it. It looked like he was going to do the Ray Lewis dance in the end zone, and boy, he should have, because he was made of butter. These defenders from Motor City were just slipping off, and look at right there. There's one. Here comes another one right there. Up, slipped up, and then I'm just going to outrun everybody to the end zone for 6. That was a powerful run. We've seen a lot of those here today so far, but nothing like that. Oh man, Sanders. He makes me want to go down there, Mike, and really put on the helmet and pads.
I'll let you do that, Jeff. After getting a little bit of football action at the convention at the flag football game, I think I'm done for another year.
Well, you know.
Jacksonville up 21-14. Something interesting I did want to bring up on that touchdown run, and actually the 2 touchdown runs by Sanders today, is the last man to hit him before he broke free for a touchdown was King Rashid, who had that injury on the first play from scrimmage, so maybe not playing at 100%.
Yeah, we don't know the nature of the injury either. We could just go off of what we kind of saw, what he was holding going off the field, but that's always the thing, right, that coaches have to play. Do I put in this guy at 80%, 90%, not knowing that he's fully 100, or do I go with the backup to see maybe do we get a little bit more out? But right now they're choosing to go with Rashid.
Right now, Motor City back on offense, once again down by 7 for the 3rd time in the ball game. But every time that Jacksonville has scored, the V8s have had a counterpunch. And right down the middle, it's Noe Terrazas again. Who else exactly? Michael Brown continues his good day at quarterback.
So I guess Shane Kaufman, he does have a rushing touchdown, but Sutherland, Clausen, you guys just had the day off. So you punched your ticket, you're getting paid, get the game check and just head on home.
Well, Guy Clausen, of course, injured on the first play from scrimmage last week against Carolina and didn't play the entire game, and so still doesn't have a catch on the season. Brown to Terrazas, one-handed catch. First down, Motor City. Go back to the well if it's working.
It has worked. I thought maybe once the hit on the previous drive by Young Vaught that maybe there would have been some that it would have made Terrazas think a little bit more, but it really hasn't, because he's just making one-head grabs now. So we moved on from that.
Terrazas up to almost 100 yards already in the first half on 6 catches. Brown looking for him again, and he's got it again for another first down. This is a mirror image of their first drive of the game.
It is, and Jacksonville was like, okay, we're going to, the old Madden play, engage 8. We're just going to send everybody, and it was picked up. And what Motor City is doing to counteract the blitzing are these short slant routes right across the middle, within 5 yards, and that's where Terrazas has really succeeded and why he's already at 106 receiving yards in the game, because of these quick throws.
It's Terrazas again. There's something to that, Jeff, that they're blitzing the linebacker from his side of the field, so he's always in one-on-one coverage. And if you're Noe Terrazas, 6'6", 235, you match up pretty favorably with every cornerback in the league, especially Toby Knurr, who he's been matched up on for most of the game.
Exactly, and it's only a matter of time, Mike, before these slant routes, the corner is just going to shrug off of him like we saw with Sanders, and then all of a sudden Terrazas is 20 yards downfield in the end zone.
Update from SFL headquarters. Mexico City leads Indianapolis 14-10 at the half. Terrazas still showing off the acrobatics. First and goal at the 5.
This is just remarkable that Jacksonville is knowing what's coming, and they still can't stop it.
And it's what we saw a lot last week with the running backs. This week, Motor City has flipped the script and said, hey, we're just going to go to the same slant play over and over again, and if you can't stop it, well, too bad. Now
Exactly.
a different look out of the V8's offense here with I formation at the 6. Kaufman again. This time the defense was ready for it, and he is popped by Roy Towers. No, correction, Tigga Clay, the transfer from Minnesota.
Well, you know, they saw that formation already, and it looked like they kind of went to the weak side, not even the strong side of the formation. So that was an easy read for the defense to come up and just get the stop.
This time Brown back in. 3-step drop, middle, touchdown. Who else? Noe Terrazas. He deserves a touchdown, and he's got it.
He would say, Mike, that he probably deserves 2 touchdowns for what he's done here today, but he's good with one. Gets into the end zone. That was just a great drive. I mean, Motor City taking advantage of what Jacksonville was giving them on the entire drive. And the aggressiveness from Jacksonville is really coming back to bite them defensively because they're allowing Motor City just to go down the length of the field at will. We've only had 1 punt in the game.
We have indeed, and it was immediately canceled out by the strip sack from Doug Howard. Noe Terrazas, 140 yards, 10 receptions on 14 targets, with a long of only 20, because it's all been short. As you said, it's those 5 to 10 yard crossing routes and post routes that are the immediate pressure valve for Michael Brown when he's been pressured, which is pretty much every play.
Exactly, and it's only going to be a matter of time before Jacksonville fakes the blitz, and then the linebacker just stays there. Then all of a sudden, either it's an interception or a tip pass that's intercepted, something along those lines. But right now, I mean, might as well just keep taking advantage of what's been working for you. And for Jacksonville, I want to see them get back to the run game that really worked for him on the previous drive with Sanders. He's looked really good, but you got to wonder, is it going to take a passing touchdown for Jacksonville as well later on in the game?
Well, the return by Beasley wasn't the dynamite that was at the beginning of the game into the opposite field, but still a pretty good return. Sets up Jacksonville at the 35. Bruin still under center. Haven't seen Kenny Slider it yet at quarterback. They took him pick number 105 in the draft, did Jacksonville, with Slider. Talon Steele moves across the formation. He looks like an offensive lineman out there at tight end. Bruin forcing to roll away from the pressure and almost throws a pick. Threw it all the way back across the field, and Rodney Panani, the veteran, knocks it down.
Yeah, he's been here probably every season since I've been here. I mean, 11 seasons, but 7 with Motor City, that, of course, being with St. Louis as well. So the veteran, he knows what he has to do, and he did exactly that defensively.
2nd and 10. We haven't seen either team really in 2nd and 3rd and long situations much. Bruin back to the middle. Ellington makes the grab. 3rd down and 1.
So it's the Ellington Terrazas show here in Motor City. It's been a good one. Now 3rd and 1. Again, I mean, go back to the running game, pick up this 1 yard. It looks like they're going to do just that and, move the chains.
Handoff, Sanders pushing behind his offensive line, and he gets the 1st down. Nice push by Brennan Ryan and Marcella Martin, both undrafted rookies.
Yeah, he was so small. He was like you, Mike. He was just hiding behind the offensive lineman, and all of a sudden he sprung out. It was really close to not being a 1st down. So the refs being very generous.
Bruin looking for Steele, and Talon grips the ball well and holds on for a 1st down through contact.
Yeah, just another good play by Bruin. Get the ball out, sling the rock. Obviously, it's somebody other than Ellington, so that bodes well. Steele with it, I believe, his 2nd grab of the game. But yeah, 6'7", 263. Gonna be hard to bring down that guy.
And Jacksonville continues to pick on King Rashid, both in the run game and the pass game. Rashid, who led the entire league in interceptions last season with 12. This time, deep Ellington hangs on as he was accosted by David Leathers. I'm not sure how he hung on to that football, but it's another Kings 1st down.
And if you're O.J. Bruin, that's why you go to Ellington, because he makes plays like that. While getting hit by Leathers, he does the first thing that every receiver's taught to do, hold on to the football, and he did throughout the process of that hit.
Every time Jacksonville has gotten the ball, with the exception of that fumble, it's been great drive after great drive, very efficient from O.J. Bruin and the running game, and this time we're going to see our first flag. I believe that was Ellington once again down the middle, was impeded. And it's going to be Matthew Holford, the linebacker, who's going to be the recipient of that pass interference calls. We see right there, he just kept Jim Copeland Jr. from a clear route to the ball.
Yeah, that was an easy call for the ref. Nothing to really complain about on that one. That's just, that's not smart by Matthew Holford, especially at this stage where that would have been second down.
1st and 10. They can get a first down inside the 1. But this is effectively just 1st and goal. Bruin rolling, looking to the end zone, picked off! Motor City makes a stand, and Mark Kaufman gets an interception.
Mark Kaufman, come on down, young man. Coming up with the interception, taking points off of the board for Jacksonville, and that was just, he was ready for it. OJ rolled out to his strong side, but threw against his body to the weak side. Normally, that's not what you tell your quarterbacks to do. He made the mistake. He threw it to what he thought was open, but there was Kaufman right there, probably camouflaged in the end zone.
Maybe a little bit aggressive from Kaufman, as Motor City, instead of being at the 20, if he had kneeled it down, or at their own 7, not really in safety range. Brown going to throw over the middle, caught by Terrazas, 11-yard gain.
And there's just no pass rush for Jacksonville right now. They're bringing pressure, but even with the blitz, Mike, throughout the whole game, they have not really touched Michael Brown.
And I think at this point, they might be better off dropping everybody in coverage, just rushing 4, and trying to get some hands on the football when it goes downfield, because right now the all-out blitz, as you said, Jeff, just not working and leaving wide open gaps for Michael Brown to throw to pick apart this secondary. It is another blitz. It's another deep pass. It's another Terrazas catch in traffic. He is speared by young Vaught, but he holds on to make the grab. And
that wasn't none of these. There's been a couple easy catches for Terrazas, but look at, he's got, okay, so that one was kind of easy, but it's still, you got 4 defenders in the vicinity. Somebody has to be able to knock the ball down. This is just a clinic.
Yeah, this kind of performance is making me scramble to try and find the records for receiving yards in a single game. Brown to Terrazas, first down again. It's just big chunk plays over and over.
It is. It's the same play, too. Slant route by Terrazas. Gets off of his man, so he's getting off of the coverage originally at the line of scrimmage. And he's just overpowering himself down the field.
Terrazas almost 200 yards receiving in the first half. Brown looking for him. He's got it. And I'm not sure what else to say. We've kind of exhausted all the analysis we can get out of this play. We're still not even at halftime yet.
I'm just remarkable. I'm just baffled by the way that it's still working over and over and over and over and over again. They've only had to punt one time, and it was because the defense for Jacksonville actually got 2 stops, and then they tried the swing pass, Motor City did, and it only went for 2 yards.
Right now, there is nothing Jacksonville can do, as it's another completion to Terrazas. Liking the game so far? Smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The SFL produces over 400 events a year. There is no one else that gives you more football. Don't miss a minute of SFL or SFLM action, and help the channel grow through your support. We're creeping up
Yeah.
towards 10,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel.
10,000. Pretty remarkable from where it started and where it is now.
Caught, first and goal.
Back to the well. Hey, there's just nothing that the defense has been able to do. I mean, they keep attacking Toby near on the near side. He's just getting off of man, and there seems to be nothing.
We go to the 2-minute warning. Motor City driving to try and take their first lead of the game. This is the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on YouTube. So Motor City's been down 7-0, 14-7, 21-14, now 21-21, and Kaufman tried to go the end around again. Once again, Jacksonville's defense is ready for it. That's the one thing that Jacksonville's defense has been able to stop after seeing it once.
Yes. So now, since it worked the first time, which was closer, it was at the 5-yard line. The last 2 times tried it, it's been around the 10-yard line where they are right now.
Brown looking middle, touchdown as Terrazas hangs on. Motor City takes their first lead of the game.
And who else? No, Terrazas gets into the end zone once again, finds Pater for the second touchdown of the game for him. And now, I mean, Motor City, you said it, Mike, they get their first touchdown, they get their first lead of the game. And we get to see what changes with Motor City defensively and offensively. I don't think they have to change anything, really, because they've been playing really good on defense. Yeah, you could. I mean, they've gotten the stops when they needed to, and that there was a time where Jacksonville 14-7, that it looked like Jacksonville was going to go up 21-7, but then all of a sudden the fumble happened, so that was well timed by Motor City, and then Jacksonville was going to gain the lead back again, but a pick by Kaufman in the end zone, and then they just go downfield. So Motor City has been very methodical in how they've gotten their big-time plays on defense.
And I don't think that Motor City can afford to change how they've been running their offense, right? You got a 7-point lead, and maybe prevailing wisdom would be maybe start running some clock, get to halftime with the lead. But because Jacksonville's offense has been so good, the only reason they haven't been in the end zone 2 more times is because of those 2 turnovers. I think you have to keep slinging the rock if you're Motor City and keep putting more points on the board and just try and outrace the Kings in the second half. We'll see what Jacksonville does, now down for the first time in the game, 28-21. Bruin looking deep and overthrows Talon Steele. They've gone to that out route to the tight end a couple of times. That time he just overthrew it.
Yeah, Steele has made a couple of nice grabs, 2 of them, and yeah, that was just OJ just overthrowing it.
Bruin been in the league for 5 seasons. This is his 2nd season with Jacksonville. He's going to drop back to pass. He has to get it out there. The ball is passed backwards and out of bounds. That was almost a disaster for the Kings, but it was the first time we've really seen a blitz from Motor City.
And that's the problem with throwing it backwards. That can always happen on the swing pass. It went backwards, and now, I mean, Jacksonville, I mean, they're going to look at it. It looked kind of close on that replay of maybe being forward. We'll see what the ref has to say. But now all of a sudden Jacksonville, I mean, no matter what, they're going to be in 3rd down and long. So something that Jacksonville hasn't really had to deal with here in this game is 3rd and long.
Well, I think the difference in this is it's either going to be 3rd and 12 to 14 or 3rd and 10. So not a huge difference. We'll see what the call is. So it is not a forward pass. It will be 3rd and 10.
Looks good for the stats for O.J. Bruin, not a fumble.
He's already had one. Doesn't really want a second, even if it's not a turnover. 3rd and 10 now for Jacksonville, and they are in danger of this game slipping away from them if they don't convert this here with 1:19 to go in the second. Bruin moves Connor Weston across the formation. Bruin going to roll out. Blocking is there. The throw is there, and it's a first down on 3rd and 10. Joe Beasley, the rookie, makes the catch, and Jacksonville calls timeout.
That's the first grab for Beasley in the game after the opening kickoff went inside Motor City territory. I want to see maybe he could be a little spark plug for this Jacksonville offense.
King throwing, incomplete, off the hands of Connor Weston. 2nd down.
First time Weston's been even looked at, and coming up, he's a little shaking that arm a little bit. Gonna have to watch that moving forward here the last minute and 9 of this first half, but this is big for Motor City. Can they get another stop, make it 3rd down, and get the ball back and see what they can do on the last drive of the first half?
I like the fact that Jacksonville is diversifying, trying to find the different receivers, make the defense cover everybody, not just Kingston Ellington. On 2nd and 10, Bruin's going to throw, and Ellington comes up with the grab. Both players wearing number 82 for their respective teams. Kingston Ellington and Noe Terrazas have put on a show today.
And that was a big-time grab. I mean, the first that we've seen Ellington on this drive. Who would have thought that it would have came 5-6 plays after the drive started?
Bruin tried to go back shoulder to Ellington. It doesn't look like Kingston was ready. Shane Kaufman, who had the interception earlier in the quarter, knocks it away. And it's 2nd and 10.
I don't really know what they were trying to accomplish there. It just looked like, I mean, the ball was thrown low, and normally the receiver adjusting to a low pass, normally you want to try to use the out route for that one.
Another 2nd and 10. Bruin against the 4-man rush is sacked. And a 3rd and final timeout taken by Jacksonville.
Nicholas Warner getting in with the big-time sack, number 44 from Motor City. That's the first sack of the game by either squad, and who would have thought that it wasn't Taekwon Hale or somebody on Jacksonville. It's Motor City getting the first sack of the game.
That was an interesting look. They only sent 4, but one of them was the safety, Nicholas Warner. Now on 3rd and long. Jacksonville outside field goal range, gotta have it. O.J. Bruin picks up a late block, and the pass is incomplete. It was looking for Connor Weston. It was broken up by Terrence Pearson.
Yeah, he threw it back across the body into double coverage, and that was just an easy play for Motor City. Just get the pass knocked down, as it looks like Jacksonville's going to go for it on 4th and 13. This could set up Motor City with good prime real estate.
Well, Jacksonville down 7 in no man's land, not really punting territory and not really kicking territory. At the 44-yard line, 4th and 13. This is a gutsy call. It's going to be play action for Bruin. Buys him some time, and it's picked off. David Leathers makes the grab, and Motor City doesn't even have to burn a timeout to get the ball back.
That is why you study film of your opponent every week. Leathers read that play beautifully. He probably saw that in practice. Sees the receiver coming across the middle. He's like, okay, I'm going to snatch this. I'm going to take this back, see what I can do with it. Doesn't get very far. He's tackled down, but Motor City gets to the 40-yard line on their own end. It's better field position than if they would have punted the ball, because maybe it'd be around the 20-yard line. And this offense has moved the ball, and they got 46 seconds, and they got 3 timeouts.
It'll be Brown, middle, Terrazas with a spin. First time we've seen that today. And he gets to the 40-yard line, and Motor City calls their first timeout.
And I said it, Mike, it was only going to be a matter of time before he was going to shrug off a defender after he caught the ball and run for it. He got some yak yards after the reception, so that's big. And now they're set up where they could get at least a field goal here to close out the first half.
Last season, David Leathers had 7 interceptions. He's got 1 today. Brown looking incomplete. Roy Towers, the rookie, was there in coverage.
The rookie shows why he's a rookie. That could have been big for Jacksonville to get a pick and, close out this first half. But now Michael Brown breathes a sigh of relief. It falls incomplete. Go back to what's been working. Don't make any bad throws. I chalked that up as a bad throw. Can't have that happen again.
Michael Brown, 19 of 23. He's in the pocket. He throws it. A beautiful hit. Could jar the ball away from Phil Cause. And it sets up 3rd and 10.
They've gotten away from that slant route the last 2 plays, and now all of a sudden they're back at a 3rd and 10. This is just like the end of the first quarter when Motor City had to punt the ball. Are they going to actually do the screen pass again?
3-by-1. It's a hat on a hat to the top side if they do want to try that screen. They are going to. And run out of bounds is Christopher Dean.
Yeah, this was exactly like that drive where they had to punt. Now it's going to be interesting. Do they go for the field goal? Do they try the long field goal with Caleb Richards?
Richards 1 for 1 on field goals last week, and they don't have the legs, so they're going to go for it on 4th down from just inside where Jacksonville failed a 4th and long. Terrazas in the middle of the group of 3 to the near side. Brown, he tried to get to Terrazas, but this time there were enough Kings in coverage, and it's incomplete. Alex Bond, who took a couple of seasons off and is now back with Jacksonville, had the main hand in there to break it up.
They had Sutherland open because he was the receiver of that the trip set. He was the one that went across the middle of the field looking around the first down marker. He was open. He got by his man, but it was Brown being on his first read, being a rookie, didn't get off of that, didn't see the receiver open.
Now a strike down the field to Connor Weston, who's in space. First play for the Kings. Can they tie the game before halftime? Yes, they can. It's a King counterpunch from Jacksonville.
They went after David Leathers, who had the interception on the previous drive. Leathers kind of went to knock it away, but he was kind of in no man's land. You're going to see it right here on the replay right there. Yeah, he thought it was going to go through the hands, but it didn't. And Weston, his second target, first reception, and it's a big one, and it ties the game up.
Last week, Connor Weston only 2 catches and only 21 yards, so he is beyond that in 1 play. Kevin Irvine giving us an update on Mexico City and Indianapolis. Indianapolis 24-17 ahead. So they've had a big second half. 8:10 to go 4th quarter. Mexico City in danger of starting the season 0-2.
I know we were talking a little bit before the game kicked off, Mike, and that's kind of surprising how Mexico City now could fall to 0-2.
Kick out of the back of the end zone. And the last 2 minutes of this first half have kind of seemed like an eternity with both teams just passing the ball, getting out of bounds, not a lot of running. We could be in for a long haul game here today.
I hope everybody brought their sleeping bags.
Oh, I hope it doesn't go that long.
Yeah, they might get sick of our voices by then, Mike.
Still 16 seconds for Motor City. They are going to throw the ball. It is complete to Terrazas. Will they use a timeout? No, and that'll be the end of the first half. It is 28-28 in a really entertaining first half of football as we hit the break.
Yeah, that over-under by the Jack stats is at 51. That might go over.
I think we're going to hit the over on that one, but if you had Noe Terrazas 200-plus yards in the first half, go cash out. But I don't think anybody had that.
No, I mean, just a great performance. Even, like, no Terrazas, 263, 19 receptions. And then also, you got to look on the other side, Jacksonville, Kingston Ellington, 103 yards, 8 receptions on 9 targets, and a long of 16, while Terrazas has a long of 21. So they're very even coming in. It's just the ill-advised turnovers by Jacksonville has really cost Jacksonville a chance. I mean, they could have went up by 2 scores, and who knows how the game would have played out in that first half. But you got to give credit to both these squads. We thought the defenses might be a little bit more together than they have been. I mean, 28-28, but Motor City's come out playing really well on defense. But I want to see, can they switch it up from the aggressiveness that we saw, or else they might be looking at Motor City 2-0.
I did notice on that last drive when they went for it on 4th down and didn't get it, when they've not gone to that Noe Terrazas post route, it's been very difficult for Motor City to move the ball. They've had no rushing game at all to speak of. I don't even think they've attempted a carry. It's just been swing passes for their fullbacks, and their other wide receivers have not really gotten involved. The only other one who has a catch is Shane Kaufman, and Phil Koss has 1 target with no receptions. Azami Mihata, Julian Gusters, Johan Sutherland, and Guy Clausen don't even have a target. As bouncing off of tackles is Sutherland. He's got 1 big return. Can he get another one?
Oh, he stepped out again.
Steps out of bounds right at midfield.
Just like the first kick return that he had that was long in the started around the midway point of the second quarter, stepping out of bounds. And man, I mean, these return games, it's not going to be fun in the defensive and special teams meetings here after this game.
Going to be a long week for both of these defenses. It is indeed correct. Ball in the Jacksonville 49, cross midfield, starting position for Motor City in the second half. And let's see if Motor City changes it up, or if Jacksonville forces them to change it up. They send both corners again, and nothing has changed first half to second half. Noe Terrazas picking up big chunk yardage.
I like how you said that, Mike. That was really good wording on your part. And Terrazas, I mean, that was a longer route Terrazas had than what we normally see. But it's still the same result, and it's still a first down regardless. But I wonder, can Brown bring in some of these other receivers and tight ends? Because Jacksonville is going to try something at some point to try to get Terrazas off his game.
Brown looking for Terrazas, but the ball is punched out. Tigga Clay makes another nice play. 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, that'd be a pass deflection it won't be a pass deflection. It should go down as one, but it won't be a good knockout. Terrazas had it wide open, had the catch and knock it out. You bring up 2nd down. Now it's all about for Jacksonville. Build off of that incompletion. Get another stop here. Bring up 3rd down.
Another blitz, another catch for Terrazas. City was 1 tackle away from going the distance. He'll just settle for another first down inside the SFL, presented by APM Music. Red Zone. Now available, free to download. You can play the SFL video game on the go on the Retroid Pocket 3, an emulator for 4K23 in the palm of your hand. Order your Retroid today at GoRetroid.com. Search SFL and download our mod at simulationfl.net/4K23. Retroid, the official console of the SFL. From the 15, Brown looking, catch made, inside the 5, touchdown, Motor City. It's Guy Clausen finally showing up in the ball game and getting a touchdown.
First target, first reception, first touchdown. Hey, all on one play. You gotta love it. That's what receivers in the SFL dream of. Their first target coming for a catch, and they just plowed their way into the end zone for 6. And that was a big play by Motor City, because it wasn't no Terrazas all the time. Brown finally worked in somebody else, and Guy Clausen comes up big.
And not only was that Guy Clausen's first catch of the game, first touchdown of the game, it was his first catch of the season, because remember, he was injured the entire game with Carolina last week, started on the first play from scrimmage with an injury, so good to see Guy getting in there and getting a touchdown. Second lead of the game for Motor City, 35-28. We may end up with a basketball score here, Jeff. It's getting close already.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this could be like maybe a D3 type basketball game, 35-28 in the third quarter. I can see that. Or maybe like a D2 school as well.
I've covered a lot of high school basketball in my time, and it's almost looking like a high school basketball score right now.
Yeah, maybe I'm giving a little too much. Maybe I'm overselling the D3 schools.
35-28. Jacksonville have to respond again. One thing that has been going for the Kings is their rushing game. Sean Sanders, another carry.
I mean, why not? I mean, if Jacksonville can sense that their defense can get a stop, why not try to take some time off the clock by using the run game? Something that Motor City has not done in this entire game.
Another handoff for Sanders. Panani makes the tackle a yard short of the first down line. Sanders 73 yards on 13 carries so far today.
Yeah, Sanders has looked really good.
Yeah, again, no carries at all for Motor City's Christopher Dean and Bill Cherry. Sanders, a third straight run, picks up a first down past the 30-yard line, and it looks like Jacksonville is trying to take the sting out of the game a little bit, keep the ball out of Michael Brown and especially Noe Terrazas' hands.
That would be my game plan right now in this second half, because the defense really for Jacksonville hasn't gotten a stop yet outside of when Motor City has gone outside of what they do.
Last year, Sean Sanders only had 4 rushing touchdowns. He's already got 1 today. Bruin to pass over the middle, caught by Ellington near midfield.
That was a good grab. Got a separation from the defender. Able to box him out using that big receiver build that he's got. That just gives Bruin a really easy target, and that was just a great grab across the middle. Every receiver has caught something in the middle of the field. Even Guy Clausen's went in the middle of the field for a touchdown. Oh, outside of Connor Weston's, his was on the outside.
Yeah, Connor Weston, of course, Talon Steele has a couple of back shoulder catches in the flat as well. This time short over the middle to the running back, Sean Sanders, gain of 5. That's an interesting wrinkle that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, I wonder if they could get the angle route a little bit more wider to the point where there's not another receiver in the same vicinity. Use that angle route a little bit wider to the near side and then just angle it right towards the middle of the field.
Sanders nowhere to go, no gain on that play. Doug Howard right there. Matthew Holford also on the stop. The problem with Jacksonville slowing the game down, sorry Jeff, is that if you stall out on a drive, Motor City has a chance to really turn the screws and get a 2-score lead for the first time of anybody today. Handoff. Vakarian, 4th and 1 at the 42. What do you do here if you're Jacksonville?
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they go for it. I don't think they are. I think they're going to punt it away. It looks like they're going to punt it away. I don't want to go down 2 touchdowns, though. That's the thing for me. It's
It'll
fourth
be
and 1.
the 86th pick. Victor Ironleg to punt this one away high and short. It's going to be caught. No fair catch at the 20-yard line and no gain on the play. Actually, Shepard Vicarian being used in kick coverage.
And that's the thing. Going back to that 4th and 1, I mean, Sean Sanders is averaging 4.9 yards per carry. And even Vicarian is averaging 4.8. So you're telling me that not one of those running backs could pick up 1 yard? I don't see it. I would have went for it, at least tried to go for it. I mean, even if he tried to draw him off sides, who knows what will happen.
Yeah, interesting call by Jacksonville. We'll see if it comes back to haunt him. That's Guy Clausen. They go the other way with the post route this time. First down, Motor City.
That's an interesting wrinkle. If they're now going to the backside of where the play is supposed to go, all of a sudden that might open up some big plays. Maybe they're seeing on the sideline that Jacksonville is dropping towards Noah Terrazas, and maybe they want to try the weak side and get Terrazas open here coming up in a couple plays.
Seen Toby Nur be picked on. Now it's Nathan Knurr, the other slot corner, who's having to guard Guy Clausen. Middle incomplete. Nice breakup by Knurr.
Yeah, that's big. Brings up 2nd and 10. As we've seen with Motor City, sometimes when they get backed up, that's when, Jacksonville has a chance to maybe get something going, get a pick, get something ill-advised going with Michael Brown.
2nd and 10. The one-on-one matchup is to the near side.
They're looking like they're going to bring the blitz again.
They do. It's another throw. Middle. Terrazas catching traffic. First down past midfield.
If they're not bringing those linebackers, because when they start, they're right in the middle, but then they flank out when they come on the blitz pre-snap. If they stay right where they are, then Terrazas doesn't have all these catches that he has right now. Once they vacate, that's easy money for Michael Brown to find his intended target.
371 for Brown, 315 of those to Terrazas. And now more as Noe's in the open field. And a Tiger Clay tackle is all that prevented him from going the distance.
And 377 is the record. DR Sim back in season 6. According to our great commissioner.
And of course, we have to take this with a grain of salt. New game.
Yeah.
So we'll have to probably separate the records out by era. But
yeah, that's what they did on the website.
As it stands, Terrazas getting closer and closer as this is Clausen to the 12. Terrazas getting closer to that all-time receiving mark.
Garrison Blue, Terrazas has 23 receptions now for 332 receiving yards.
But an interesting wrinkle, as you said, to get Guy Clausen involved after he had that touchdown catch on Motor City's previous drive, and there have just been no answers for that post route for Jacksonville.
Vacate in the middle again. It's there.
And it's caught, and Terrazas lowers his shoulder and drives Young Vaught across the goal line for a touchdown. 2-score lead for Motor City, and the V8s are pulling away.
This DJ he's really working the music because that's 42 points now. We haven't even seen a field goal attempt in this game. Wow. I mean, I did not expect this coming in. I thought maybe it was going to be a little bit more defensive, but once again, Motor City in back-to-back weeks, over 40 points.
Jacksonville last week squeaked by Canton 24-21. Whereas Motor City, I think, may have the most effective offense in the league in terms of points per game, as they're putting up now on average just to this point of 43 points per game.
Wow. And their defense, again, I mean, they're only allowing 28. I mean, right now it's 28. That could be up as this game goes on. But wow, I mean, we're getting close to seeing Motor City put up a 50 burger.
Wouldn't be surprised if it happens. We saw 69 points out of Minnesota against Indianapolis during convention week, so we know crooked numbers like that are possible. And with this offense-defense mismatch that Motor City has right now, I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't either. I mean, I didn't know what we were going to see from Motor City week 2. I really didn't. I mean, Drew really gave me a lot of information. I really enjoyed talking to him about what he thinks was going to happen. I didn't think Jacksonville was going to come out like this and really be this aggressive on defense.
Sanders only 4 yards that time. And that's it, right? And they've committed to being this aggressive, rushing both linebackers on pretty much every play, leaving the middle of the field open, and Motor City's just taken what the defense has given them all day long.
And that's what Drew really said to me, was he knew that Jacksonville blitzed a lot week 1. He went for it. He thought that they were going to do the exact same thing, and it's worked out well for him as Sanders gets another nice carry.
3rd and 2 now after the 4-yard pickup from Sanders. Nicholas Warner, who has the 1 sack for either team in the game, made the tackle. And how crazy is that with all the throwing that both of these teams have done? The only sack was on a safety blitz.
Yep. At the end of the first half.
Power eye, nobody out there wide as they motion Connor Weston in as another blocker, but the defense is there, and Sean Sanders gets blown up in the backfield by Matthew Holford.
I was going to see if we could get the number that was able to get in there first and slow down Sanders, but that was just good swarming tackling by Motor City. Now brings up 4th and 3. You're going to get the ball back, already up 2 scores. Why not be up 3 scores?
Second straight punt for Iron Leg. Fair catch called for and taken at the 32. That's Guy Clausen back there returning kicks. We've seen everything today.
Yeah, and Roy Towers, nobody was blocking him because he was right in the face of Guy Clausen. But this is a big play, or big drive, excuse me, Mike, for both of these teams. Motor City, you have a chance to go up 3 scores, maybe put this game away early here in this third quarter, late in this third quarter. If you're Jacksonville, get a stop here, maybe a pick 6 or something.
Well, it ain't going to be a stop on that play as 32nd verse, same as the first for Noe Terrazas.
I've never seen anything like this. And this is what you dream about on offense, one team not getting out of defensively, and, you're just taking advantage every chance you can.
8 yards from unofficially having the record for most receiving yards in SFL history in one game. Brown looking deep. Terrazas has the record. Noe Terrazas has a game for the ages. He's now the single game receiving leader in SFL history, and we still are not out of the third quarter.
We're not, and he could even go for 400. He might go for 450 at this rate. Why not? Just keep feeding him. You've been doing it all game. This is a remarkable game by Noe Terrazas. This is what you dream about.
A record that has stood since season 6, and this one could stand for a long time to come. Middle, catch made by Shane Kaufman.
Hey, he could do it even through the air.
No, he's not just a Wildcat back. He's a receiver as well. I love seeing that.
I do, and I want to know, do they have a throwing play out of that Wildcat for Kaufman?
Somehow I doubt. I mean, they have to, right? Because the new playbook rules, you have to have a run and a pass in every formation, so they must have at least one. Could we see
Kaufman throw it to Terrazas? Wouldn't that be something?
That would be crazy. Once again, nobody covering. Terrazas down to the 9-yard line, 1st and goal. I think if we see that, I will bring back one of my very infamous lines from early on in my broadcasting career, and This is something that Dwayne Schindler likes to bring up a bunch. At the very first convention, I was calling a St. Louis game, and I said something to the effect of, if this happens, I'll eat my hat. And I'm not even wearing a hat.
And it happened?
I believe so.
Oh, so of course you couldn't eat your proverbial hat that you
Exactly.
said you had.
Inside the 10 on first and goal, lofted to the goal line, Terrazas touchdown.
Well, he was 18 yards away from 400. Going to be a little bit closer now, and he's going to have. He got past the hat trick. We're now at 4 touchdowns, so he could even play for the Detroit Red Wings because he's just scoring points.
Just call him No ET. The T could stand for Terrazas or touchdown.
It's nice when I know, like, we haven't been partnered together, and I know where you're going with things.
On for the extra point once again is Caleb Richards, and that's all he's had to do today, just kick extra points.
Mickey Melello has a thing. Trillo, who's your favorite Sasquatch?
I only know one Sasquatch.
I like the Jack Link's Sasquatch.
Yeah, well, that's another one. But you weren't at the convention if you haven't seen the pictures of Mickey Melello in the Sasquatch outfit.
Yes, I have. He posted it in the broadcast channel.
Something tells me that maybe that Sasquatch was the driving force behind the big win for Minnesota in Week 1. We'll see if they can extend their winning streak. Of course, we've got a full slate of SFL action this evening. 6:30 p.m., it's Louisiana and Canton with Colin Northrup and Ramos Lynn on the call. 6:45, Minnesota at Alamo City with Damon Simeon and the Hall of Famer T-Roy Gaines. At 9 p.m., it's Seattle and Fort Worth, Tyler Falk and Brett Solberg. 9:15, Sioux Falls and San Diego, Petey Zahler and Cameron Duty. And then tomorrow, as I'll wait for this play, Brown, roll out, throws, caught. Talon Steele makes his first catch of the second half, and that will probably bring us to the end of the third quarter. On Sunday, Carolina and Baltimore at 6:30 p.m. with Ethan Muslin and Andy Hamilton. Florida and Queen City at 6:45 with Chad Rowland and Eddie Gage. At the 9 p.m. block, we've got Tulsa and Arizona with Mike Daggs and Gerald Smith, and LA and Denver, Chris Curtis and Mark Lopez. And then on Monday, it's the return of the Monday Night Spectacular with Cameron Irvine and Paul Sarp. Connor Weston climbs the ladder and makes a nice grab against King Rashid.
And I bet you none of those games are going to see what we have witnessed here tonight.
Probably not. Probably not. Although a nice catch from Weston here.
Yeah, I mean, he had a big play at the end of the first half to get the touchdown that tied the game up, and then all of a sudden, Motor City just went on a run.
Still 1 quarter to go. Motor City dominated the third. It was a tie ball game at the half. But Jacksonville has not scored since the interval. And Motor City has grabbed the bull by the horns and run away with this game. To the fourth quarter we go. Delayed handoff, Sanders not going anywhere. Rodney Panani Johnny on the spot to make the tackle. APM Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection. State-of-the-art technology and world-class customer service. APM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and to find the perfect tracks for your projects, visit apmmusic.com. Bruin down the field, and Weston takes the contact but holds on to it.
That, I will say, out of what we saw, that was probably one of the better catches that we have seen. I mean, OJ rolling to his weak side, having to turn his body contorted back to his throwing motion because he's a lefty, and then just sling the rock to Weston. That was a good catch. Good play.
Jacksonville is going to need to pull off a fourth quarter like Motor City had a third to try and come back in this game. Bruin looking, intercepted, and that may be the play of the game.
Are you kidding me?
Matthew Holford, 6'7", 297, looking like a gymnast over the middle of the field to rob one from Talon Steele.
I want to know where he was throwing it to, because OJ had Steele right behind Holford, so he had to go to the second level to throw that, and Holford needed all 6'7" of his frame to grab that.
That's going to be the nice hands catch of the game, presented by Retroid. Put a Retroid handheld in your hands and play the only video game with your player in it. SFL 4K 23. That time the rush almost gets back there, but again the pass is complete to Terrazas. Man, I didn't know somebody 297 could jump that high.
Neither did I, but apparently they can. It makes me rethink me making my safety.
Damon Simeon in the chat says if Jacksonville doesn't play any defense, Motor City will break the over-under by themselves. I mean, that very well could happen. It only takes one more score.
And talking to Drew, really, he said that he's saving stuff, like, towards the end of the season. I want to know, and he's not going to tell me, what else could they possibly be saving? Because this has been a good game.
Think about it from an analytical standpoint, though. Every coach in the league is going to watch this game and say they exploited the tight end blitz. And what are they not going to do? Run tight end blitz against Motor City. So you've said it yourself, right? Yeah. Every time they flex those tight ends out to the wide side, that's leaving room over the middle of the field. If they leave the tight ends back, this space right there that they've been throwing into all game just doesn't exist.
And that's been open all game. A lot of people are tuning in after probably people talking in league chat and whatnot. It's been happening all game where Jacksonville will have the two linebackers, and then of course either pre-snap they'll move to the side and be like edge outside linebackers blitzing in, or just like they did on the last play, step up a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage, then go. So the middle of the field has been open all game long for Motor City.
Dwayne Schindler says Brown needs 38 yards for the team passing record.
He's going to get it on this drive.
He's got 9 more there.
430 yards now for receiving-wise for Terrazas.
520 through the air for Michael Brown. I did mean linebacker blitz, Damon. That was my bad. I did say tight end blitz. That's not
I just let you go with it because I knew someone was going to correct you in chat.
Kaufman round the outside. He's in the open field inside the 30, and he slides down to the 21-yard line. That's the second time we've seen that play work in the game.
Yeah, so they're 50%. 2 for 4. The 2 times didn't work where the last 2 times they tried it. The first time went for a touchdown. Now this time doesn't go for a touchdown, but it goes for a first down and then some.
And every time I see number 19 under center, I'm like, oh no, here we go.
I just want to see a pass play now from Kaufman.
Up 49-28. I don't think you're going to see it in this game. You are going to see passing plays from Brown, though, inside the 5. And Terrazas looking for touchdown number 5. Won't get it that time.
He's getting closer to breaking the St. Louis Gladiators / Motor City V8 passing yards record in a game. Damon says that he was just a little confused, but he said you're good.
1 yard.
You confused
passing.
the viewers.
Did you see that stat that just popped up? 1 yard passing to the left and the right. Everything else down the middle.
Yep. And the 1 yard was the swing passes to the running back or the fullback outside to Christopher Dean.
Do they try the slant here? Do they going to run it for the first time today? 1 rushing play, 1 touchdown for Christopher Dean. How do you like that?
Well, Christopher Dean, fullback, come on down. You got a reservation for 6 at Pater. Motor City, they're going to be eating like kings after this game. The whole city of Detroit is just going to go berserk.
Bank Michigan Stadium has been treated to an absolute dominating performance in this second half. And
the score was tied.
It was 28-28 at halftime. It is now 56-28. Motor City absolutely has taken off and driven away.
Well, they are Motor City
Denver
V8,
hanging out the window.
With what hanging out the window?
I said with Denver, which is the dog on the logo.
Yeah.
Hanging out the window. He's waving goodbye to Jacksonville.
Yeah, they're already so far past it. They're like 30 miles down the drive. Down the highway, whatever you want to say.
It's going to be a long trip
and with
home.
That touchdown, they covered by themselves the over-under.
That is insane, but it's going to be a long trip back to Florida for the Jacksonville Kings.
I totally didn't know that I said that, Tyler. That was awesome. I said that they're going to eat like kings, but really they feasted on them.
And Jacksonville's going to have to get ready for Charleston next week. Charleston beat DC in week 1. So the Predators right now in the lead in the Atlantic Division. Pitch to Vakarian. Breaks the tackle of King Rashid in the open field. Vakarian, is he going to go out of bounds? He's led out of bounds by Dakota Butts, the defensive end. Big gain for Shepard.
Imagine having a defensive end, though, that can run and keep up with a running back. That is just that's next level speed right there. But good. I mean, where was that for Jacksonville the last couple of drives? But really, their defense has let them down in this one.
We haven't really seen Shepard Vakarian all that much. 6 carries, 45 yards, 7.5 yards a carry. 86 yards on 20 carries for Sean Sanders with a touchdown. That's 4.3. The Vac attack is back at it, and he's breaking tackles and picking up about 8 yards. And David Gears, the wide receiver for Jacksonville, is down. Doesn't have a target today, does Gears.
Doesn't look good. Looked like they were looking at his arm, maybe?
As he will walk off the field.
I mean, luckily he's walking off, so it's not like an ACL or something like that, because it'd be harder for him to walk.
Last week, Gears only had 1 catch, but it went for 35 yards and a touchdown. Hand off, this time Sanders, first down. Coming up tonight, we've got a jam-packed doubleheader kicking off at 6:30 p.m. Eastern on SFL YouTube, featuring a rematch of last season's wild card matchup featuring Minnesota and Alamo City, who both won their openers. Fort Worth opens up a beautiful new Stockyard Stadium, trying to go 2-0 against Type Attack and the unbeaten Nemesis at 9 p.m., plus Louisiana Canton at 6:30 and Sioux Falls, San Diego at 9:15 as the rush gets back to Bruin. Doug Howard, he had a strip sack fumble earlier. This time he has the sack in general.
Yeah, just able to fight his way around the blocker and able to get in there for a sack. Second sack of the game, both by Motor City.
Second and 14 now for Jacksonville. I think this is the first time we've seen trips. Bruin rolls that side, has to get the ball out there because there was a man in his face.
Oh!
And Ellington bounces off a tackler and is inside the 10 and is gone for a touchdown.
That's a microcosm of this game. It's been bonkers. And it happened.
Injury behind the play to Rodney Panani, who's been big in this game. Had a couple of big run-stopping tackles, has 4 tackles and a pass defense for Panani, and he's going to exit. But that doesn't take away the touchdown. Nice balance and core strength by Kingston Ellington to stay on his feet through contact and then find a way to the end zone.
I mean, we thought it was going to be Terrazas in the Ellington show, and it's just been Terrazas, but Ellington finally getting into the end zone for his first touchdown of the game. That's big right there. I mean, Jacksonville still fighting. You know, they easily could have just laid down and let Motor City just wind out this clock, the last 4:26. But no, they fought back. They were able to get a touchdown. Now we get to see onside kick. Do they get it back?
Under 5 minutes, they're going to go for the onside kick. Oh, they got it!
Oh!
Connor Weston, Johnny on the spot.
And that hit, it was a slow roller. It goes off the hands of 88 and right into the hands of Jacksonville.
And as Cliff Allen would say, yeah, special teams. I can't even get my voice to do that. I don't know how he did that all week last week. Onside kick recovered. We've seen one already this season recovered by San Diego in that crazy week 1 game against Arizona. But Jacksonville now back on offense. Bruin to the sideline, caught by Ellington, first down.
They're going to need a couple more onside kicks, but why not? We've seen a crazy game already.
Bruin on another rollout. Deflected and incomplete. I have watched a lot of sims of this game since the SFL mod came out, but I have seen those big wicked deflections over the middle of the field go for interceptions that goes right to a safety.
Yeah, Leathers, he didn't know that he had to catch the ball there. That's why he's playing safety.
Leathers already has an interception in the game. 3 picks for Motor City. Holford, Kaufman, and Leathers each have 1. Bruin forced to move in the pocket into traffic and complete.
Yeah, Leathers doesn't feel like he wants a second interception. That could have been another one. But obviously the best interception, I would say even this week, unless something drastic happens, Matthew Holford.
That was incredible.
I mean, show me another 6'7" linebacker that could go up that high.
3rd and 10, 3 down linemen for Motor City. Everybody dropping back in coverage. They'll sneak 5 on the line at the snap. They'll bring some late pressure as well, and it forces an overthrow. Jacksonville can't really do anything with the onside kick, and it's 4th down. The offense is still on the field, though. They are going to go for this.
Yeah, this is, I mean, if you went for the onside kick, chances are you're probably going for it on 4th down, but they got to get just under the 40-yard line. This is going to be tough.
From just shy of midfield. Bruin dropping back, throwing, flag on the play.
Pass interference.
And Jacksonville is going to accept the pass interference call.
That's Terrence Pearson, who's coming over from Jacksonville for Motor City.
That is, I'm not saying Motor City gifted Jacksonville a lifeline, but they gave Jacksonville's offense a chance to stay on the field.
Yeah, that's big. You don't want that on 4th down when they would have got off the field.
Bruin going to throw middle into traffic. It's caught by Joe Beasley. 2nd catch of the game for him. He's also had a pretty good game returning kickoffs. Up-tempo offense for Jacksonville. Into the flat for Connor Weston. He's dragged out of bounds after a gain of 9. Into the red zone now for the Kings.
And more importantly, gets out of bounds. So preserve some clock for Jacksonville. Big play. 2nd and 1. Don't really have to force really anything yet, but just pick up the 1st down. Just keep moving downfield.
Motor City does have 1 end zone interception in this game. That was the one by Kaufman. Bruin to the 5 and tipped away by Warner. Gets his long arms out there to knock it down.
Yeah, almost had it on the deflection too. That would have been pretty remarkable. Not to the length of Holford, but that would have been nice. A little tip, and then you catch it as well in the end zone.
3rd and 1. I formation. Bruin will throw to the flat. Talon Steele has a first down.
Keeps the clock running, not able to get it out of bounds.
OJ, Bruin, end zone,
Ooh.
Ellington, touchdown.
2nd of the game, big touchdown. They needed that really quick. They scored very quickly. They got the ball with about 4:20 left to go, and they score with a little more than 3 minutes left to go. You'd like to see that if you're a coach. 3:25 to be exact, and you know they're going to be going back for that onside kick that they just recovered a series ago.
Kaufman is going to look back at that play in the film room this week and just kind of shake his head because he was kind of caught in no man's land as Kingston Ellington went out into the flat and made the catch for a touchdown. So they are not going to go for an onside kick, it looks like.
Surprising.
Oh, no, they are in onside formation once again, 3:25 to go. This time it's a deep kick. It's bobbled, and it is picked up by Motor City.
That looked dangerous, but able to corral that was Bill Cherry. I don't know. I still would have went with how they did it the first time. Go for the first group because obviously they're the ones that are not expecting it. They're expecting that second bounce, that third bounce where it goes up in the air. So if you could really get the first line of the recovery team for the outside thinking something else, that's normally what you try to do.
And with the running game for Motor City being non-existent, only 1 carry in the game, I somehow don't think that Jacksonville is not going to get the ball back, but Kaufman on to run the ball, gets nowhere. That's the one method they have of really running the clock.
And what would happen if Kaufman gets injured? We've seen injuries be a factor in this game already.
And in
I don't know how
pretty
many
much every game
times
this season.
Yeah, I don't know how many times you call that Wildcat, because it's only a matter of time before, obviously, something, we're not wishing it, but something bad happens to Kaufman, and then all of a sudden, then it's like your whatever backup you have running that play now comes in.
Brown back out there on 2nd and 10. They are going to hand the ball off to Bill Cherry, and he drags defenders for a first down, and that could take us to the 2-minute warning.
And that was against the blitz, when probably this was the time where the blitz would actually work, but it still didn't work, and they got a first down on one play.
Jacksonville's going to challenge. They did get that first down just to stop the clock. We haven't really talked about the defensive line for Jacksonville all that much. Taquan Hale, Forrest Dalton, Joey Schwint, and Logan Gardner, and John Martin as well at linebacker.
Yeah, Hale, Dalton, Schwint have not been a factor. No tackles in this game. The only one, Logan Gardner, got a tackle.
Well, right there. That was his first one. And is he going to get a first down? Looks like he is. That's close, but it looks like he is across.
Yeah. Ooh. Normally it's those spot challenges that really don't get overturned. But
that
it was
one
here.
Is, and it's going to be 3rd and inches. The clock does stop. We'll have one more play before the 2-minute warning. We'll see if they go back to the Bill Cherry fullback run. Christopher Dean is also back there. They do run the ball with Dean. He's got a first down and more inside the 25. And that will take us to the 2-minute warning. So I'm going to ask you, Jeff. You cannot say your own team's game. Which game are you looking forward to most this week?
Hold on, I gotta bring them up here. I can't say. Obviously, they're the next game coming up. I want to, I want to see the DC Atlanta game. Atlanta coming off a loss last week against Louisiana. I like that one as a Monday night game. DC coming in and to the Swarm, and I think that's going to be an interesting game that not a lot of people are probably looking at.
Loser of that game goes to 0-2, shockingly enough, as we hit the 2-minute warning here in the fourth quarter. Motor City just trying to ride out the last couple of minutes and walk out of here with another impressive win on a record-shattering night for Noe Terrazas. It's going to be Kaufman again, and now that play has gone for no yards or a loss of yards more than it has gone for positive yardage. But they did get a touchdown off of it the first time it was run, caught the defense completely off guard, and I think it's worth it, putting that play in the playbook just to see it run once and get a touchdown.
Exactly, and then they picked up a key first down the fourth time that they tried it. So the fifth and sixth time have not worked, just like the second and the third.
Dean on the outside, sheds a tackler, stays in bounds to run the clock. And the first timeout by Jacksonville is taken.
But what a change from last week to this week. Christopher Dean had 18 carries for 73 yards. Cherry had 10 for 55. And now all of a sudden, Michael Brown only had 40 attempts. That's pretty good, but 281. And then all of a sudden here tonight, just going berserk, going bonkers all over the Kings.
9 of 48 for 520 for Michael Brown. 439 of that to Noe Terrazas. And Jacksonville wins a booth review to say that the runner stepped out of bounds. So I guess I'm not sure what that gains Jacksonville. They used a timeout and pushed him back 2 yards?
Yeah.
I'm
just
not
another.
Sure what the Kings gain from that.
They're keeping the game clock not moving.
Kaufman round the outside, nobody there. He's got one man to beat. He slides down to the 5, and I think Motor City just wants to keep this clock running and force Jacksonville to use their final timeout.
Yeah, there it is. So now pretty much you got the first down. Now it's victories and GGs and drive on out of here.
Motor City came to play. This game was 28-28 at halftime. And the second half, Motor City continued to exploit the weakness of the Jacksonville defense, exploiting Jacksonville's over-reliance on the linebacker blitz. And we'll move to 2-0 with a 56-42 win. Jacksonville actually has scored the last 2 touchdowns because they got a touchdown, an onside kick recovery, and then another touchdown. But it was just too far back to come back from for the Kings as they fall to 1-1. Next week, Motor City will get their first taste of North Division action as they host the Canton Classics, and then the week after that they host Queen City. So this is the first of a 3-game homestand.
A couple big games right there. That's going to be big, especially for the North Division after what happened in the offseason, and how the teams in the North Division are going to have to show up every week and show why they deserve to be in the playoffs.
Jacksonville, 2 straight home games coming up for them as well. They host Charleston in week 3, and then in week 4, they'll host your Louisiana Revolution. As that is the games. Last snap of the game as the clock ticks down to under 10 seconds.
And this is going to be the first time that Motor City or St. Louis has beat Jacksonville, because coming in, Jacksonville 5-0.
And the first time that Motor City has won back-to-back games to start a season since season 16. Coincidentally, that was the only season that they've ever made the playoffs had a winning record and made the playoffs at 7-5. Is that a sign of good things to come for the Motor City V8s? They dominate the Jacksonville Kings and roll away with this one in the second half. And we got to talk about the legendary performance of Noe Terrazas today.
Yeah, I mean, it was, we didn't know how it was going to start off. We thought that, we were going to see some running by both of these squads, but really it was Jacksonville that stuck with the run. But Noe Terrazas taking advantage of what happened with Jacksonville being aggressive and having that linebacker blitz, really took it to Jacksonville's defense for a tune of 439 receiving yards, 32 receptions, had 39 targets, mind you, 4 touchdowns.
As I called him, Noe touchdowns, as he unofficially breaks the SFL record for receiving yards in a single game. Both teams had over 600 total yards. There was not a lot of defense being played in this ball game.
And we thought it was really going to be a back and forth battle. It was 28-28 at the half. Then all of a sudden, Motor City was like, okay, hold my beer. I'm just going to go and score some touchdowns. And they really put an end to that close game with Jacksonville. Then all of a sudden, Jacksonville, we thought maybe the third quarter was just what did it in. You see 21 unanswered points for Motor City in that third quarter. Jacksonville tried to get back to it, but really they were already dug in a hole so deep that they couldn't really get out of it.
That'll do it for us from Bank Michigan Stadium in Detroit, Michigan. For Dwayne Schindler and Aaron Gooden on StatsCam and Irvine, our producer as always. For Jeff Milanishin in the booth with me, my name is Michael Travillo, saying thank you very much for watching, and stay tuned to SFL action all weekend and all season long, and see you next time.